Is it okay? Okay, you leave it there. Leave it. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good morning. Christos Anesti. So when I was a young adult, before entering the seminary, I was living in Miami, Florida, and I was playing on a rather competitive men's softball team. And our team had what the Greeks call this one player. They would call him a pirasmos. I think that's the word you say. Someone who stirs up drama and trash talks and tries to upset the other team. We had one of those guys, our pitcher. This one team we were playing had a notorious, hot-blooded, mercurial sort of guy that everyone knew that, and he would fly off the handle at the drop of a hat. And so this situation was an explosion waiting to happen. You have a trash talker and someone who's thin-skinned. And so this was an important game, so everyone on the young man's team said, do not let him get to you. We can't afford to lose you. Stay there, don't respond. And the guy, yeah, okay. So during the game, our pitcher, true to form, started trash talking the whole team, and he specifically kind of aimed at this guy, hoping to get him kicked out of the game. And so it wasn't working. The young man knew what he was up to, and so he didn't take anything personally. He just, okay, and he just played the game. He did a great job. So our pitcher had to go into his bag of tricks and come up with one surefire way to get under anybody's skin. He said something about the young man's mother. And sure enough, the young man lost it, charged the mound, had to be restrained, and he was tossed out of the game, the very thing the pitcher wanted in the first place. So happy Mother's Day to you. That's the story. Don't mess with our moms. We are all, in ways that we're probably not even aware of, deeply bonded to and profoundly influenced by our mothers. According to St. Porphyrios, he said every one of us has incorporated into him or herself the experience of their parents, but most especially their mother. He went on to say the experiences of our mothers when she was carrying us in her womb leaves its marks within us and bears a large responsibility for our spiritual state. If she was anxious, or if her nervous system was exhausted, if she was happy, sad, depressed, her whole nervous system affected the nervous system of the embryo. Listen to the actual words of St. Porphyrios. A child's upbringing, I'm not saying his life, I'm saying his upbringing. A child's upbringing commences at the moment of its conception. The embryo hears and feels in its mother's womb. Yes, it hears and it sees with its mother's eyes. It is aware of her movements and her emotions, even though its mind is not yet developed. If the mother's face darkens, it darkens too. If the mother is irritated, then it becomes irritated also. Whatever the mother experiences, sorrow, pain, fear, anxiety, etc., it is also experienced by the embryo. If the mother doesn't want the child, if she doesn't love it, then the embryo senses this, and traumas are created in its little soul that accompany it all the days of its life. Now, the opposite is also true through the mother's holy emotions. When she is filled with joy and peace and love for the embryo, she transmits these things to it mystically, just as happens to children that have been born. Now, at the risk of being over generalizing and overstating and, being overly sentimental like I do every year around this time. I am telling you, because of this profound position of influence on our mother's life, the Lord in His wisdom has given our mothers the maternal instinct that is perhaps the closest thing we have to understanding God's love for us. Divine love, unconditional love. Metropolitan Alexios, in his weekly message, said, no matter what we do, good or bad, God always loves us. I think we have trouble understanding that sometimes. But no matter what we do, you are loved. The same is true of mothers. They never stop loving their children. Besides being unconditional, God's love for us is also uncalculating. It seeks no reward. The same is true of motherhood. It's instinctive. I want you to consider the child in the womb. How the mother involuntarily is an icon of Christ's love. Telling the little child within her in an unspoken manner, little one, lavate, fagete, piete. This is my body. This is my blood given for you. All this without a thought of reciprocity. The only thing on the mother's mind involuntarily is to nourish her child. Even outside the womb, her love continues in a natural way. Again, without calculation. She loves instinctively. Consider the criteria at the last judgment seat of Christ. I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. Who better fulfills these things in a natural manner? Not in a calculating manner, not in a way where what reward, what is this doing for me? Not even the thought of salvation. All that matters is for her child to be nourished. A mother's love for her child reveals her inward state that needs no other evidence before God's court. Today, my friends, right now, while you are here in church, the very place where she would like you to be, I want you to think of your mother. Even you who are mothers, don't think of your mother today. Or at least not right now. Think of your mother. Picture her in your mind. Not as you are now, but when you were young. She seemed so much older then. Now you realize she was rather young. Younger than you are now, perhaps. What was it like for her back then? Did she have the support system for her nervous system? Did anyone give her feelings, importance, legitimacy? I remember once asking a young girl who had just lost her yaya, because motherhood is not just limited to those who give birth. There is a gift of motherhood that some women just have a knack for. So when this little girl lost her yaya, I asked her, what was that like for you? And she said something that I thought was so healthy and so mature. She said, Father, I have no regrets. When thinking about your mother, looking back, do you have any regrets? Sure, there may have been times where you showed disrespect and disobedience, but did you ever humiliate her? Did you ever disgrace her? If so, don't be too hard on yourselves. She can take it. Her desire for your well-being, for those things that are good and beneficial to your souls, matter more to her than her wounded pride. The love of our mothers. If we really understood it, it would give us chills. Today, we offer thoughts for you, Mother, soft thoughts, thoughts designed to bring refreshment and healing to your soul. Because it is almost as if you didn't have a life of your own, you lived for others. Thank you for showing us a glimpse of divine love, the kind of love that the Lord has for us. We honor your sacred image today and every day. Happy Mother's Day to you all, my friends. God bless.